So now we're going to shift from the role side and look at the people side. We're going to look at two aspects of people. We're going to look at learning style, and then we're also going to look at the way that people solve problems, because both learning style and problem solving are highly related. We're going to start with Stratum 1. Now, what's the role of Stratum 1? Those are the people that do what? Now, I'm going to ask a lot of questions today, some of which are rhetorical, and I'll answer those pretty quickly myself. But there are some questions that I'm looking for an enthusiastic and robust response. This would be one of those questions. You see, at the end of the day, I get to go home, and it doesn't matter what I know and what I can talk about. What matters is what you know and what you can talk about. One of our purposes today is to build a language so that you can be highly articulate when you're talking about this stuff here. So what's the role of Stratum 1? Those are the people that do what? Production. Primary learning style at Stratum 1 is that they learn best by doing. Now, if you've been around me for any length of time, you've probably learned that humans have three modalities of learning. We have visual learners, we have auditory learners, and we have kinesthetic learners. Kinesthetic learning is learning by doing. If you take nothing else out of today's program except to look at your training programs, because I visit your training rooms, and most of the time I walk in, it's a bunch of Stratum 1 people sitting at desks like this, watching some yahoo in a necktie and a PowerPoint presentation. Is that how Stratum 1 learns the best? They learn best by doing. Stratum 2, what's the role of Stratum 2? Those are the people that do what? Make sure production gets done. Now, Stratum 2 has the ability to learn through experience. Would this be their own experience? No, because that would be learning by doing. We're talking about the experience of other people that they've read about in a book, article in a magazine or a trade journal, research they've done on the internet, or perhaps a conversation with a colleague. Because Stratum 2 has the ability to learn through other people's experience, other people's documented experience. Question, Jim?
I would think that those people are your supervisors, and they're typically the ones that have done the production and coordinating.
So they are likely to have had some experience in production. You are correct. One of the role titles that we give to the Stratum 2, where the role is make sure production gets done, would be supervisor. We have other words for them like coordinators. Sometimes we'll even use a word like project manager. When you look at project manager, even though the title says manager in it, it is really a coordinating role, coordinating machinery, equipment, and materials, same place, same time to make sure production gets done. So you're absolutely correct. That would be one of the identifying roles at this level of work. Stratum 3. What's the role of Stratum 3? Those are the people that create what?
Systems.
Now, learning style at Stratum 3 is that they may be able to learn things that have never been learned before, because they can engage in analytic thinking. They can learn through analysis. In layman's terms, they can just flat figure it out. It doesn't have to be documented before. They can take a brand new, fresh problem with no experience and just figure it out, because they can engage in analytic thinking. Three very different roles, using three very different sets of tools, and populated by three very different people with different learning style and also a different way that they approach problem solving.